Spain's road to the 2026 World Cup semi-finals, the return of a football superpower. Everyone thought Spain's golden generation had come to an end. The team that once dominated world football with tiki-taka had lost its identity, suffered painful World Cup exits, and watched other nations take its place among football's elite. But in 2026, Spain hasn't simply returned. They've reinvented themselves. This isn't the Spain of 2010. It's faster, more direct, more aggressive, a team capable of controlling matches while striking with ruthless efficiency. Yet beneath this impressive transformation lies one tactical weakness that could end their World Cup dream in the semi-finals. So how did Spain become one of the tournament's most complete teams? And could that one flaw stop them from reaching another World Cup final? Team identity. Luis de la Fuente hasn't abandoned Spain's football DNA, he has evolved it. Possession is no longer the destination, it's the weapon. Spain now uses the ball like a magnet, drawing opponents out of shape before attacking the spaces they leave behind. Every pass has a purpose. Every movement creates another passing lane. Every player understands how to create numerical superiority across the pitch. Without the ball, Spain becomes equally dangerous. Their aggressive counter-press forces mistakes within seconds of losing possession, allowing them to regain control before opponents can launch a counter-attack. The result is a team that dominates through intelligence, movement, and collective discipline rather than individual brilliance. The manager's philosophy. Luis de la Fuente has built one of the most tactically balanced teams in international football. Spain builds patiently from the goalkeeper, inviting pressure before breaking lines with quick combinations through midfield. Once space appears, the tempo changes instantly, turning controlled possession into rapid attacks. Defensively, every player contributes. The front line presses aggressively, the midfield compresses space, and the back line remains compact to limit passing options. But tactical ideas mean little without players capable of executing them. And that is where Spain's midfield becomes the heartbeat of everything. Key players and squad balance. Rodri is the team's metronome. He controls the rhythm, protects the defense, and decides when Spain should accelerate or slow the game down. Pedri brings creativity between the lines, constantly finding pockets of space that unlock stubborn defensive blocks. On the wings, Lamine, Yamal and Nico stretch defenses with pace, fearless dribbling, and intelligent movement. Their ability to isolate defenders creates the width that allows Spain's midfield to dominate central areas. Behind them, Spain defends as a unit. Rather than relying on individual heroics, every player understands their role within a highly coordinated defensive structure. That collective understanding has become one of Spain's greatest competitive advantages. Tactical journey to the semi-finals. Spain's route to the semi-finals has been defined not only by results but by adaptability. A convincing victory over Austria demonstrated their ability to dominate through possession and relentless pressing. Against Portugal, they faced a far more disciplined opponent. Instead of forcing the game, Spain remained patient, trusted their structure, and found the decisive breakthrough while maintaining defensive control. The quarter-final against Belgium presented another challenge. Belgium threatened repeatedly in transition, exposing the spaces behind Spain's high defensive line. Rather than abandoning their identity, Spain adjusted their pressing structure, regained midfield control, and managed the game with remarkable maturity. That willingness to adapt without losing their identity has separated Spain from many of their rivals. Strengths and the one weakness. Spain possesses almost every quality required to win a World Cup. They control possession without becoming predictable. They press with intelligence rather than chaos. Their midfield remains one of the strongest in international football, while their squad depth allows them to maintain intensity throughout matches. But every great team has a vulnerability. Spain's aggressive defensive line leaves space behind whenever the initial press is broken. Against opponents with elite pace or direct attacking transitions, that single weakness can become incredibly dangerous. Against the very best teams, one perfectly timed pass may be all it takes to punish them. And with a semi-final against world-class opposition, that flaw could define their entire tournament. Final against world-class opposition, that flaw could define their entire tournament. Conclusion. Spain's journey to the 2026 World Cup semi-finals represents more than a successful tournament. It marks the rebirth of a footballing identity. They have blended the technical brilliance that made Spain famous with the intensity, athleticism, and tactical flexibility demanded by modern football. Whether they go on to lift the World Cup or not, one thing is already clear. Spain is no longer trying to recreate the past. they have built a new identity capable of competing with anyone in world football. The only question left is whether that identity is strong enough to survive the biggest test of all. Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this tactical documentary, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Player Focus, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next deep dive into the tactics, psychology, and stories behind the beautiful game. Until next time, thank you for watching, and remember, football isn't just about the result. It's about understanding why the result happened.